Okay, let's start at the beginning. The moon upside down. The moon is about internal things, taking something from the dark and moving it into the light. Now, this is upside down. So you may be planning something, strategizing about something. You may need a little bit more time to bring it to the light. So I'm feeling that there was something that you wanted to pursue. Maybe there was a little bit of a hang up somewhere. So it may take a little bit more thought, a little bit more perfection on the mental plane. And the moon, you know, that's about our internal stuff. But being upside down leads me to believe that you may have some more external things to take care of before you can take that idea and put it into, or manifest it into, the physical realm. So a little bit more time, let it marinate a little bit, and then take it from the dark to the light. What crosses you is the 7, and the 7 of Wands, and is just that. It feels like you might have been cornered in something. You may have been kind of engaged in a disagreement with someone that does not feel comfortable. This feels like it has to do with a work situation, that something was kind of like all of a sudden dropped in your lap. There's a little bit of resentment around this. It does feel like the focus is on you to complete it, even though it doesn't feel like it was yours initially. But it does feel like there's a little bit of static, little bit of miscommunication around work, and maybe deadlines and endings of projects at work. The King of Swords is here. He's an exalted one. He also can stand for you, Gemini. Doesn't necessarily mean you're in a male or a female body. So when I ask Spirit what this means, it's time to refocus on your hopes, dreams, and desires. It does feel like you've been spending an exorbitant amount of time at work, or a little bit more time at work than is healthy for you. So make sure that you create some one-on-one time for yourself, and make your priorities important. Don't keep putting them on the back burner. It's time to bring them to the forefront. This also can stand for communication, intellect, and you know, the King he's a very smart guy, so make sure your words are of great integrity, that there's no biting remarks, and that you present what you need to present with love and kindness, Gemini. The Knight is just to the left of it, and the immediate past position. And Knights are about motion, and this is the Knight of Wands, so this is like double motion. He is also facing backwards, so I'm feeling like you may have to double back and double do some of your efforts. I do believe this is on the work level, but it does feel like, you know, one more push and that you'll be able to get some help on this project. But it does feel like you're going backwards in some project. Motion is involved here, so it's kind of a redo is what I'm feeling. Knights of Wands, he kind of commands motion. All knights are about motion, but the Knight of Wands, that's fire, that's moving things. And this also can stand for a person. The Wands are fire signs, so that could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So there may be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries that you are having a disagreement with or a challenge with, and it does feel like it's on the workplace. The 9 is here, the 9 of Wands. You have a number of wands, so it feels like Spirit is kind of dictating some motion to you. And the nines are all like right before the ending of something, right before the miracle happens, right before whatever you've been planning happens. So it does feel like you've been emotionally and physically letting go of things. And I know you've been releasing over the last couple of months, Gemini. So this is kind of like the last ditch effort. Do you need that toaster? You know, and it could be very symbolic as well as changing your attitude. It could be, you know, looking at addiction, looking at the dynamic at the family that doesn't work for you, or even a marriage or relationship. But it does look like you're releasing things and taking a look right before you step into your future. You have been really healing yourself. It does feel like the orange here is lighting up for me. So you've been healing your heart, healing your body, and this is all part of the process of changing some things that haven't really been working for you for a very long time. So it's just one quick look back. It's like cleaning out that closet. Do you really need that coat? Nah, I don't really need to have it worn, it kind of thing. So it's just a reflection on what you have done already before you move into your greatness into the future. What is in the future here is the 8, and the 8 of Pentacles. This is all about collecting information. It could be going back to school, perfecting the skills that you already have, going to a conference, even looking up things on the internet that you can retain to put into motion later. But it does look like you're in a fact-finding, or will be in a fact-gathering type of mindset in the future. This does look like that, it's on the same line as the work stuff. So most likely it can be something to do with work, whether you're going to a conference, I said, gaining knowledge on something, even collaborating to gain knowledge. But this is kind of the gaining knowledge to further you either in your career or in your life. The basis of all this is the Hangman, and the Hangman kind of validates all the changes that you have been going through, and the big sweeping changes, the legacy changes. If you've always done it this way for Christmas, Halloween, whatever, just changing that to make it your own tradition. So it does feel like some of the behaviors that weren't working for you, whether it was addiction, codependency, or just being kind of miserly with yourself, those have changed. So the Hangman is here to validate that, yes, those changes are starting to be incorporated into your life. It does look like things are lightening up for you a little bit. No huge decision making here, except for kind of trying to find some balance at work, and the Temperance is right here too. So it could be finding the balance between your private life and your work life. Make sure that you give to yourself on that private time. We don't live to work, we work to live. So that is kind of what the King of Swords is here telling you. Make your fun just as much as a priority as your work. It does feel like you will be floating for a little bit, not making any grand decisions. I know last month there was some decision making, but it does look like, just float a little bit in the situation. Let somebody else drive the boat for a minute and see where it brings you. But yes, this is all part of the healing. This is all part of doing things a little differently instead of maybe jumping in there and cleaning things up for people. Hang back a little and let's see what they can do. Because, every challenge that we create for ourselves is something to learn from. So if we take someone else's challenge and fix it because we know how to do it, they will never learn how to do it themselves. So it's kind of like teach a man to fish and they can feed themselves type of thing. But yes, you're very capable at what you do. So it looks like you just need to hold back, hang back, and let the others around you, whether it's your family members, your partner, or your work colleagues, let them figure it out. Let them fall on their face. If they need help, they will ask. So just float a little bit, either until you're asked or until you see that they are able to resolve it themselves. The Lovers is right here, and it's upside down. This is the soulmate card, so it does feel like you may be a little bitter about a relationship that either didn't work out, isn't working out, or just kind of a little angry at your current love partner. But it is upside down, so it does tell me that it's time for some focus on your hopes and desires, whether you're in a relationship or not. So you may be codepending, you may be, going out of your way to do things for your partner, or, you may not even have a partner, and that's fine. It's time to refocus on your abilities and your hopes, wishes, and dreams for the future. future. I know a lot of things have shifted, so it may be time to do a new bucket list. I'm not saying discount anybody else's feelings or their desires, but it's time to focus in a little bit more on your own and less on the people that are in your heart space. And that's when we kind of fall into the codependent range, when we don't let people fall on their faces and pick themselves up. So it does look like you have embraced that. You're going to float a little bit. This could be your children, your parents, or any love relationship that you are experiencing or have experienced. It could mean also if you maybe got burned in love a long time ago, the Hangman is here. It can be you're ready for to start dating, but maybe not for the soulmate action yet. Going low and slow kind of thing. The Judgment is just to the left of here. So trying to find your balance, stepping out of kind of that old patterns of, I don't want to love, or this is how only love can come to me. So it does feel like your judgment needs to be a little bit more fluid for yourself as well as others. So see, with the Temperance here as well as the Judgment, that kind of tells me you're trying to find your balance and neutrality around folks and their decisions, instead of offering their judgment. Just see how it turns out. I mean, your judgment, just see how it turns out. Unless someone asks you for your opinion, I would just let it go. Things are a little touchy right now because of all the planets in water signs. And that, Taurus also looking at values. So this may be a shift in your love values as well. The Queen of Wands is to the left of this, and wands are fire. This feels less of a person. If this might be a person that you broke up with, if you have just left a situation, but it looks like it either didn't work out or it's not working out. It can also stand for being socially prominent, as well as a positive authority figure, warm, honoring, kind of like a leader. So you may be being offered a leader position. This is also a Wands. You have a number of Wands here, which kind of tells me that some action is being dictated. Spirit is asking you for a little action and a little less mental stuff. So taking the stuff from the mental, putting it into the action area. So that is what I see for your general reading, Gemini. I'm going to read a couple of these Angels in Abundance card. These are by Doreen and Grant Virtue. And let's see what they have to say. Well, there's two there that want to come out. So, Conscious Consumer and Quiet Retreat. So it does feel like making more time for you, less time for work. And work may be a little demanding right now, so you just pace yourself a little. Let's see what this says. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from the inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself, and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. So that's kind of validates the moon a little bit. You may need to float a little bit more to get some clarity on your next step. Conscious Consumer. You have the power to heal and help the world with your decision to buy only products and services that are ethical and environmentally friendly. As a conscious consumer, you choose to invest fair trade in organic goods. You live simply and you purchase only what you need. I do believe this is kind of like cleaning out the closets. This is kind of validating this one. Take a look at things. Simplify your life is what I think it's saying. Simplify your life. Get rid of the material things that are only standing in your way. If you get an opportunity to move, you don't want to have to move stuff that you haven't even used for a long time. So this is kind of be more conscious when you are purchasing things over this next month.